Hello, all my sleepy
Bob and Patrick escaped the trench full of hideous, disgusting monsters.
bears, sandy bears.
Continues to follow our heroes. Some unsavory types attempt to get in his way, but he manages to reason with them. And so, like two tin cans in a trash compactor, SpongeBob and Patrick continue on, blissfully unaware of the danger closing in on them. Standing in their way is a field full of stanky garbage, but with Shell City somewhere on the other side, they have no choice but to push on.
Welcome back to episode 7 of the SpongeBob SquarePants movie game. Today we are doing Shell City Dead Ahead, or technically half of it, to be honest.
Plankton is using those televisions to brainwash unsuspecting ocean creatures. You must destroy those televisions.
I don't think I must, but it'd just be good if I did. I'm just saying, you're putting a lot of pressure on me, Mindy, okay? Hey, your treasure chest.
Patrick, you've collected enough Goofy Goober tokens.
Yes, so with that beautiful line, we can now throw stuff.
Now with improved targeting, whatever that is. Okie dokie.
Plankton's using those TVs to try and trick people to come to Bikini Bottom. If they go, they'll become slaves in his army.
If only there was something I could do.
You have to destroy the TVs. Who knows how many people Plankton will enslave if we don't?
Never fear, Mindy. I'm an expert at knocking stuff down.
But before we do that, we're going to upgrade the throw. So now, when we have something, when we press and hold the R button, we can actually throw it farther and cause more damage. And as you see, I do have one more manliness point, quote unquote, left to use, and I'm going to be saving that for the final move for SpongeBob. And believe it or not, we're already more than halfway through this game. However, this level isn't hard per se, it's just really big. Because there's just a lot going on here. So with that targeting hand, it will show you where the item would go to if you just press the R button. But if you press and hold it, then it may not go there. But now that we can throw stuff, we're going to go back to now that we're men, so we can go and get more Goofy Goober tokens. As well as show off the treasure chest from the previous level. So yes, with these Port-O heads, we can transform into Patrick. And with these ice blocks, we can freeze the lava.
Just like walking on ice.
I never said that this game makes sense, but that's okay. But yes, so today was actually pretty good. I thankfully had a good amount of Debbie, which is sponsored, by the way. Please use the code Chronically Blue to get 10% off your order on Debbie's website.
Light as a feather.
All the energy and caffeine really helped me get through the day. I felt everything moved by so fast. It was so nice. I didn't have to worry about anything. Even with people yelling at me, it still just went by very smoothly. And so I just went ahead and just calmed down, took a little bit to relax, had a snack, and then did the dishes, as you do. And my boyfriend was actually really nice. What he did was he went and he put water in his grits pan, which, if you do not know what grits are, I don't blame you. It's basically just little bits of shredded wheat in like a cream almost. It has a very unique texture, and it has a lack of taste. So, you know, just lots of fun stuff. But, so that was very sweet of him. I went and did the dishes, and the only thing that I'm ready to complain about is a game completely unrelated to this. But I did want to say, before I get into all the complaining and such, that I was able to get a PS2 converter, as well as a random grab bag of PS2 games. So, you know, once I have time, I'll be more than happy to start pumping out the game grabs. But until then, they're gonna sit in limbo for a little bit. As well as I've gone ahead and may have actually finished recording my next Let's Play. I just get hooked on games. I'm like, you know what? While I'm playing this, I might as well make this a Let's Play. And so I did. And I don't feel bad about it at all. It's just super easy. It makes sense to me. It's like, yeah, I'm already playing this game. Why not go ahead and make it into a Let's Play? That doesn't hurt anything. It's just another game that I have beaten. But yeah, so I got a little grab bag of PS2 games. I have no idea what they are. They are literally a mystery. However, they are supposedly have a guaranteed value of $50. I got them off eBay, because go figure. And I'm just like, yeah, sure, let's see what this is. So that'll be a fun episode of Game Grab, where I can test my converter. And if it doesn't work, then great. But no, so what happened was, with the PS2, it normally just has the composite wires, you know, the red, white, and red. Red, white, and yellow. Kind of like a treasure chest. And so I plug that in, and if you're playing a PS2 game, it looks fine. But if you're playing a PS1 game with pixel art, it does not look fine. You can like, I was playing Final Fantasy Origins 1 and 2, and I could very easily see the pixels when you weren't supposed to see pixels. So I'm just like, okay, this doesn't look great. It's almost like there's an upscaled option available for the PS2 to make everything look better. Let's do that. So there's two options. You can either get the component cables, which is 5 cables, or you can try to find a PS2 upscaler, which is the route I went, because it had literally everything with it. It had the little charger, it had the thing that plugged right into the thing, it had the switcher for the RGB or component, it had the HDMI cable, it had all of it. So I'm like, you know what? Sure, why not? Let's do that. So what you're going to see here is we are actually going to do the face slam in order to stun the enemies. Then we can pick them up and we can throw them, and it is very helpful. It allows us to actually treat them. In what game do you throw stuff? I just completely forgot what games you throw stuff in. Anyway, it allows us to throw them. Because I'm very much looking forward to the PS2 games. I'm also looking forward to the PS1 games looking good, so I can maybe motivate myself to play through a Final Fantasy game. That'd be nice. The only PS2 games that I got were Naruto, and it's the only way I can play Naruto games, or anime games in general from 2000s, where they have lots and lots of episodes and lots of arcs. It's just easier for me. And also, I have lots of memories of playing with my friends, so, you know, 2-for-1 deal. But now, it's time for me to complain. So, I have been recently playing Destiny 2, and when I first started, I started playing it on the Xbox One, because you don't need Xbox Gold or Xbox Live in order to play with friends on the Xbox One, but you do need it to play with friends on the PlayStation. And so I'm like, okay, well, I'll just go ahead and start it on the Xbox One. And so I did it, and they had this cross-save feature. I'm like, okay, that doesn't sound horrible. So what you do is you just set up your account, and you make a Bungie account and log in, and everything's all good and dandy, and you can actually view your characters and all the information in the little app, the companion app that they have. I'm like, okay, well, that's actually kind of cool. And so then I was like, you know what, I have enough left over. I'm gonna go ahead and get the bare minimum PlayStation Plus subscription so I can play with my friend, because we've been playing Destiny 2 together, and it's just a good way to do it. And I don't want to use the Xbox One forever. I don't hate Microsoft, especially when they let people play free-to-play games for free with their friends. But it's just that the Xbox One isn't even mine, it's my boyfriend's. And I know that with the 2 games that I got him, he really wants to play it. And so we will definitely, that's going to leave my room and free up one whole outlet and one whole setting on my HDMI switcher. So I'm very much looking forward to that. And he is also looking forward to playing his Forza Horizon games on it. But anyway, so I got the PS Plus bare minimum membership and created an account specifically so I can use a more or less specifically a Let's Play account for the PlayStation, because I'm just so used to having my one main account, which has, you know, my full name and all this, that, and the other, and everything that doesn't relate to my channel currently, but just did to me. So I went and made a new account, and that's one that has the PlayStation bare minimum. And so I went and my videos were just downloading, exporting, I mean, and I had time. So I figured I'd go ahead and play some Destiny 2 in order to get ahead and just make a little bit of progress. That didn't happen. You wanna know what happened? I had to create a new account. And I was very confused because it even had me log in to my Bungie account and everything. But it still did not like me. It did not register that it said my Bungie name, but that's it. So apparently with cross save, it saves your information and stats if you got a new Xbox One or new PlayStation 4. But if you're system hopping, yeah, no, good luck. Good luck. It doesn't like you. So that was fun to find out. So now, at least I have something to do while my videos are exporting, aside from the dishes, which I've already done. But at least that does help. As well as I did have a slight issue with my videos. Not specifically my videos themselves either. It was very weird. So I would make the videos and they would sound fine to me when I listened with it on headphones. However, I watched the videos on my computer and they just did. I watched the videos on my TV and they would just. The audio was horrible. The gameplay and my voice audio were like overlapping one another almost. So I'm like, what is going on here? This sounded completely fine to me when I had headphones on. But I just assumed that what happened was it was just the same thing that happens whenever musicians make albums. Like, they sound fine on headphones, but if you play it out of a speaker, it doesn't sound as good. So I went and played the videos on my phone, and they sound completely fine. So I'm like, okay, maybe it's just my TV's issues. So I went to my TV setting, which is a Toshiba Amazon Fire, and there's a setting for clear voice, or crystal voice, where it reduces everything except for the voice, for lack of a better term, and it made it sound a whole lot better. Like, we played a video that wasn't even mine, and it automatically sounded a lot better. But yeah, so the reason why I skipped the second wave and most of the third wave there is because it's just fighting enemies. However, with the enemy that we just destroyed, we do not have the regular technique or super move in order to take that enemy down, so we had to improvise there and use the upper fist sucker punch explosion. And you will take damage from that. So we were actually not properly introduced to that enemy yet. So, way to go a little early there, developers. You know, thanks. But now that we've gone ahead and done a little bit of cleanup, it is time to go to Shell City Dead Ahead and actually, oh, I don't know, play the level. Oh, yes, we also are going to show off... Oh, right. So we are turning down the sound effects for this level specifically, because for this level, the TVs use that one word that we are trying to not show. And I can't even tell you how conflicted I am, because there's a whole level where it just has that name in it. And I'm like, I know I'm going to have to get to it at some point, but I'm just going to try my best in order to not have that word there. Because it's just a derogatory term, and words evolve, and words just evolve. That's the best thing I can say. But I do like that. I love how the toilet seat crushes all the crates there for us. However, I did find some information about this game that I did want to share. The first thing is that the weights actually decrease in value over time. So the one level where the weights have the most value is Bubble Blowing Baby Hunt. Everywhere else they just slowly decrease. As well as the maximum level that you can reach is 999999999. But you only need 35,000, I think, in order to get the maximum points that you need in order to level up everything. After that, it's just for funs and giggles. So that's something interesting. As well as this game is apparently regarded as the hardest SpongeBob game. And I didn't think that was true at first, but then I got to a part, which we will actually get to next episode, that is going to show the reason for that. So, let's just say, for some of the driving levels, and for the new ability that we are going to get with SpongeBob very soon, I very easily put in... I have an hour-long gameplay recording of just me attempting the macho challenges and the upgraded power-up that we get for SpongeBob. Just going for it. Just trying my absolute best and trying so hard. And just failing over and over and over again. So, again, I do want to make you all aware, as I'm sure I brought it multiple times. Do not think that you are going to play through this game as easily as I am showing it here. It is going to be a lot more difficult. I had to look up stuff, research, try over and over and over and over and over and over again. So just, if you see random cuts, I'm owning up to it. Yes, I edited the gameplay footage so it's not one clean cut, because it takes multiple attempts in order to get everything right in this game. However, I did find out that this is not all for nothing. If you do 100% the game, you do get a special little cutscene, which makes me feel good, because at least that's something. As well as, for the extras, I just really like the extras in general. It's a very unique reward system that I very much enjoy. It gives you instant gratification. It's like, hey, you found this thing. Here's the thing that you unlock right now. It's kind of like... It's if the gold bolts in the Ratchet & Clank games were a little bit better. Because with the gold bolts, it's like, oh, well, you gotta get 2 to unlock this one thing. Or you gotta get 3 to unlock this one thing. But if you get all of them, then you unlock everything. And that's unique, but that's not... It still takes a little bit of time. And you still have to, like, search for everything. With this, some of them are really, really complicated and elaborate and tedious and very hard to find. But once you find them, you instantly get the reward right then and there. It automatically saves that treasure chest you got. Which is why you will see, if you're in the upcoming videos or even in the previous videos, you will see me cutting to how to get the treasure chest, and then just going back to the regular video, and then back to us getting the treasure chest, and then back to the part where I just was. And that is because what I just said is true. If you get a treasure chest, it will automatically save it, and that's it. You can't show it off again, you can't get it again, which is why I've been really careful about when I've been recording. If I'm recording, I will happily do just whatever. I'm like, yeah, you know, I can just, you know, make future self suffer, and it's awesome. It's great. I get to edit so much. Yeah, there was a cut right there because I'm doing a little bit of a cheat here, although I don't know how much of a cheat it is. It's just making it easier for myself. So if you throw the watermelon up there, then you don't have to go through all the steam and everything, because as you saw from the bubble blowing baby hunt, if you are holding a watermelon and you get hit by something, it's gonna break. So it's just making it easier for us, which I'm completely fine with. But I'm going to very happily show off any cheats that I can, but there's no, like, cheat codes. You can't just hold L1, L2, hit YY, down, down, XA, XA, B, left, right, R3, R3, L3, L3, white button, black button, white, 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 black, but you can't do it. There's no cheat codes here. So I think that's one of the reasons as to why this game is, like, so difficult. Well, it's more difficult than it should be. And I kind of wish that there was cheat codes, just because, yeah, it would be annoying in order to just be like, oh yeah, I have a completed save file. But at the same time, if you are someone that, like, lost their progress, then you're gonna have to go through and do it all over again. Like, the best way I can put it is Crash Team Racing and Crash Bash. With those were PS1 games originally. With Crash Team Racing, you had the cheat code where if you entered it, you unlocked everything, which is awesome if you had friends. It's just like with Mario Kart, where you can be like, specifically Mario Kart on the N64, where you can be like, boop, we have everything unlocked, we can do whatever we want, we have all the characters, we can go and have fun. With the new Mario Kart games, you have to go through the story mode, quote unquote, and get first place in all the races, first place in all the circuits, first place in all the cups, do everything perfect at least 4 times with the 50cc, 100cc, 150cc, mirror cc, 200cc, and then you're just like, I've played these races so many times. If you're doing it perfectly, maximum of 4. Yeah, maximum of 5, I mean. If you're doing everything perfectly, maximum of 5, you're never going to perfect every single Mario Kart level. That's just not going to happen. You're not going to do it on the first try. You can be really good. The computers will be better than you. Believe you me. But with Crash Bash, that is one where you have to go through the story mode in order to unlock everything. And it's unique. I understand the reason for it. But at the same time, it really depends. Because I think it really matters that for the single player mode, there should be a reward for you for going through and playing through and completing the single player mode. But I also think that the multiplayer stuff should be unlocked from the start, because no one wants to be like, well, what do you want to do? Do you want to do number A or number B? Well, I heard that there's a secret on letter K. I haven't played that far. We have A and we have B. What about all the save data? That's with the other console. I don't have that here. A or B. Well, what happened to this character? That's it. I'm going... Oh, what was that word? I just forgot that word. It's not asphyxiate. It's... that word. There's a word for specifically throwing someone out of a window. And the fact that it's a word just makes me laugh so hard. I'm gonna find it right now. Hold on, allow me one moment here. But right here we have a SpongeBob level. Defenestration. Defenestration is where you throw someone out of a window. So we have a SpongeBob level where, again, I always try to show off just the single takes because it's easy. With these SpongeBob levels, it is very easy to get knocked off by that fan, so just keep that in mind. Just gotta kind of work it like a charm. And here, there is a specific strat that goes here. It goes yellow, blue, red. So just keep that in mind. Don't rush it. There's no time limit. You can take it easy. Just, you're not a speedrunner. You're just playing a game and having fun. One of the things that is a little annoying is that there isn't a difficulty setting, because I'm not one that's like, oh, this game should have a difficulty setting, but if any game needed it, it was definitely this. I think for kids games, it kind of makes sense to have a difficulty setting, or at least like a gameplay setting where like you don't have to worry about like dying if you take too many hits. Something like that. That would be enough. And be like, okay, well that's great. That tells me what it is. So that way, because you don't have to play a game on the hardest difficulty in order to have fun. You can play the game on whatever difficulty you want, as long as you're having fun. That's what matters. So what we're going to do is we're going to upgrade Patrick's health, so that way we have 4 Krabby Patties, because it gets difficult. You know it's getting difficult if even I'm like, okay, we're gonna increase the health here, because we need to. Believe you me, we need to. It's gonna get very unique here. Just letting you know now. But yeah, there's just a lot that there's a lot. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. It's just, my brain's turned off. I think that was weird. Oh, right. So what we have to do here is we have to actually stack the watermelons on top of each other in order to reach this platform up here. Which, I feel like there could have been something for that. Like, I'm all for not rubbing tutorials in your face, but come on. At what point have we been taught, oh yeah, you can just stack the watermelons on top of each other. They won't break. Like, come on. Come on. You gotta give us a little help here. Like, this isn't Dark Souls. Although I've never, well, that's a lie. I've played Dark Souls a little bit. But that was back in the time when I didn't really get to play games. I just followed people through them. And when I say that, I don't mean that I was like following someone in a Let's Play. I mean like, no, people that I were playing with were like, oh, well, we gotta do this. Oh, we gotta do that. And just not letting me figure anything out or do anything. Which is honestly the worst way to play games, because nothing's gonna stick with you. Nothing's going to make you like that game. Nothing is gonna happen. You're just like, oh, well, I gotta follow this and do this and do this. And then once you play the game in the future, you're like, what do? I think it is very much okay to ask for help if you're having difficulty with the game. There's no shame in that. However, I think it should not go the extreme way where you're just like handing the controller to someone and having them play through the entire game. Certain parts or certain challenges, yeah, that's fine. Some levels are a lot harder for some people, and you know that's completely fine. But you should not, like, at that point, you're not even playing the game. You're just watching someone else play through the game and be like, "Yep, we did it." But I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Like, if it's a co-op game, that's completely different. That game was literally made for you to play with someone, and you know, you're doing stuff with them. Unless it's Mario Galaxy, in which case, that's not cool. Mario Galaxy's co-op is bare bones at best. Because it's not even you controlling another Mario, it's just, yep, I'm watching my friend play while I'm getting the star bits. I'm helpful, I think. That's just me. But then again, I think a lot of people agree with that as well. But with us reaching that door, it is time for us to call it an end. So thank you all for watching, Sandy Bears. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all next episode. Goodbye, Sandy Bears. Thank you for watching.